that people watch live streams on the internet. Yeah. It's Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. Somebody said good morning from Taiwan. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. We done broke outside the mainland. That's right. So, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good evening, and wherever you at. If it applies, hey, it applies. Now, this number you see on the screen, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, you'll be connected with Kevin. You see me busting rhymes? You see me busting rhymes? I'm busting them. And also, just making sure that the mic check is right. We got to have the mic right. We don't want to be out here just, wasting words. So everybody done confirmed that I see my man Dallas done jumped in. So that's what I'm talking about. I just got the green light to get loose. Oh, yeah. Somebody said, you again? Yeah, man. I'm back. Yeah, maybe I'm just, a glutton for punishment. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some jeans in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. And with that being said, go buy yourself some gorilla gear right here at Kevin's Corner Store if you want to. Yeah, we got all kind of, stuff over there. We got, canteens. We got watches, hats, you name it. You name it. You want it, we got it. So please check that out if you want to support the channel. And also, I do have a link, which I still failed to check. People have not been sending, donations to my link. Just funny. They send it directly through my normal PayPal and Cash App, which I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that too. But just for convenience, I create a monthly fundraiser link that if anybody watching the live stream or any of my videos want to check it out or support, they can do that easily. And forgot to mention, I do upload individual clips, isolated clips from a live stream. So if you haven't watched the one from the live stream the other day when we had the demon-possessed black actress on here going crazy, the one that's suffering from TDS, the worst case I ever seen, I've uploaded that one, and there will be more clips coming. So, you're able to check those out as I upload them, but you got to subscribe. Make sure that your notifications are turned on to all because you may or may not get a notification. So with that being said, hit the like before we get started. And did I miss anything? If I did, I get to it afterwards. So let's get ready to get into what we're going to be talking about tonight, y'all. Yeah, man. Start with the creep show. We got to always start with the creep show. And you know who I'm talking about. The one and only. Yep. Creepy, sleepy, sleazy, slimy, sloppy Joe. They still sticking this man out there to embarrass the Democrats. I don't even see how the Democrats can be more embarrassed than they should be. Maybe they lack the ability to be embarrassed. I think that's what it comes down to. They lack the ability to be embarrassed. Because if they didn't, they wouldn't have people like Hank Johnson running around and their party talking about, yes, Guam might tip over. They wouldn't have people like Cori Bush, Milk Dud Head pulling fire alarms. They have no shame. So maybe that's a requirement for a Democrat when they bring them into the party. Yeah, now you can't be embarrassed. You have no shame. You understand that? Because we going to act the fool. We're ghetto. We don't know how to act. We break all the rules. We're all about show. Yeah, we don't have any policies. I'm just going to let you know. We say outrageous things. And we oftentimes, make complete gaffes. Yep, that's right. Constant gaffes, not just for Joe Biden. Constant gaffes. We saw Mahalia Sheila Jackson the other day trying to school us on the moon, talking about it's made of gas. Yeah, and there's more gaffes where that comes from. Yep, so these folks, you would think they would get tired of just getting embarrassed, but apparently they don't. And it probably is because there's people suffering from Trump derangement syndrome that, for whatever reason, overlooks all of the stupidity that comes out of this party. So we got to go back to the creep show. Let's see what Joe's up to before we get
Prime
into
Minister is going to
stuff.
travel to North Carolina tomorrow.
Okay, now here we go. Here we go, Joe. That man's out there with his aviators. You see that little ducktail in the back? They done slicked his hair down. Got him out here. And I guess he just got done meeting or is meeting with the Japanese prime minister and he's embarrassing the whole country. Yeah, I'm surprised that the Japanese don't hand him the sword. Like, you have failed with dishonor, and expect him to, you know what? This guy right here is a disgrace. But let's finish hearing him embarrass us.
To visit that project. Don't stay. Don't stay. We need you back in Japan. They'll probably try to keep you. He also affirmed...
Trying to make funnies. Now, you know he can't go off script. I'm sure they were like, stick to the script. Don't stay. Don't stay. You need to go back to Japan because we don't like your kind here. Coming over here with your Japanese moves and stuff and your discipline and your smart kids that sit down at the table and they're always like this with their elbows and stuff, making us look bad over here. We don't want your kind. Okay, what? No, I shouldn't say that. That's the truth that I feel. Okay, wait. Dude, we want you to stay, but you can't stay. Your people need you. So here's Joe trying to make a funny, and it just don't land.
The science and education ties between Japan and the United States.
Now, what's up with that? You hear that? Is that a part of Joe Biden's language? Does he have a click in his language? So let's see if we can hear it again.
Those ties stretch up to the moon.
Wait, what?
He also...
Fly me to the moon. Fly me to the moon. Now, people are saying they didn't get a notification, and I get it. YouTube, I guess, got caught slipping the last 2 nights. And we were sitting here looking at over like 500 people, and I'm sure they probably said, all right, who's supposed to be monitoring Kevin from Kevin's Corner? Dang on it. I told you to make sure that he gets cut off at like 1,700. What do you know what? You know what? You're getting demoted. I want this guy suppressed. So they've been slipping the last couple nights, and we done popped like 500 and above. And right now, I guess everybody forgot that I do a show at 7 o'clock every day, or they're just not being allowed to be seen. But nonetheless, right now, we'll see if this number grows. And I will screenshot this afterwards and circle it so I can build my case that I'm suppressed by YouTube. Now, wait, let's get back to what he was saying. Something about the moon and the cow jumped over it and it's made of cheese and stuff.
So affirm the science and education ties between Japan and the United States.
There it is again. Y'all hear the click? So there we go. Some smacking, some clicking, something's going on in that man's throat.
Those ties stretch up to the moon.
Those ties stretch up to the moon.
And finally,
what does that mean? I don't know. I don't know how that correlates with the conversation. It just came out of nowhere. It's confusing. And if I'm the Japanese, ambassador or whomever he's meeting with right now, I'm confused. My translator probably don't know how to even explain it. They like, we'll go ahead and work it out later. We'll watch the film. We'll go back over it and see if we can figure out what the heck he's talking about. So somehow we ended up on the moon with Japan. I'm trying to piece it together because remember, when you listen to a Democrat speech, you really don't know what it's about afterwards. You really don't. They say a whole bunch of goobly-gaw, whole bunch of fancy words. You catch bits and pieces. There's no substance. They're scattered all over the place in their thinking. And they really don't want you to be able to put it all together and say, wow, that left an impact. The only impact listening to one of them speak leaves on me is laughter. Laughter and their gaffes, the stupid things that they say. That's the only stuff stand out. Because right now, I don't know what the heck he's talking about. Something about education, going back to Japan, where you came from, and something about some flying to the moon. So now if you ask me to summarize whatever Joe's talking about, that's what you're going to get. I'm going to be sitting there talking about, man, it was something about, wait, okay, all right. It was a Japanese movie, and there was some samurais that, wait, no, that was a movie. Okay, wait, he said something, well, it was a ducktail. He had a ducktail, and he had some aviator glasses, and we was on the moon. We was on the moon with Japan. That's about it.
I want to commend the Prime Minister himself. He's a statesman. The fact is that you condemn Putin's brutal invasion of Ukraine.
What is he talking about? I don't know. What an idiot. In their country, Joe might be the run of the litter. They'd be like, okay, we can't have this man in our society. He's blew out. So here he is trying to say something about I just caught something about ties and
to the moon.
And finally, I want to commend the Prime Minister himself. He's a statesman. The fact is that you condemn Putin's brutal invasion of Ukraine.
Man, I probably could understand Japanese better than I can stand Jobanese. I don't understand what the heck he's talking about.
Ukraine, when it happened, you pledged more than $12 billion in aid. Prioritize nuclear nonproliferation.
Proliferation. I'm telling you, I could at least probably gather in context what the Japanese emperor is talking about with no translator. Okay, I think he's saying something about peace and that he's thanking the U.S. Look at his facial, his hand movements. But this guy, what was that? Something about
Prioritize nuclear nonproliferation.
At the United Nations Security Council. From the very
Oh boy. Well, wait. It don't stop this with that. Now Joe has another scripted. Now you gotta understand that whole press conference with the Japanese emperor, like we saw the other day during my live stream, is scripted. You know that. They're not going to let him take questions. And then when I did see them allow him to take questions in another clip, he was like, "Dog, they told me who to ask. Wait a minute. Let me get my notes out. They said bring out, oh, wait, who am I looking for again? Hey, excuse me, Black Gay Drop. Tell me which one of these people I'm supposed to call on." Yeah, he embarrassed everybody and showed once again why his mentity is in question. See, then they bring him on a more controlled setting where they prop him up, sit him up there with his legs crossed. You see right there. See the notes. And if you think this guy right here is there to really ask questions and get to the bottom of things and hold that man accountable, you're naive. He is playing the role that he's been given. Here's your script sitting in your lap, and Joe has his script in his lap. And let's make Joe look good. Because after you hear the stupid stuff that's about to come out of Joe's mouth, you can only conclude that this guy's there just to make Joe look good. Because Joe is making himself look stupid. So now he's the counter. They're like, dude, you got to try to overcome all of this stupidity and make Joe look good. Don't you ask no follow-up. If he says the dumbest thing, don't you go, what did you mean by that? Could you elaborate? Now, are you sure, Mr. President? I mean, do you think they would sit down with Trump after hearing some of these statements and not say, what, Mr. President, I have to interrupt you right there. I got to ask, you know what, actually, let's hear.
very beginning, I used to teach the Second Amendment law.
Right off grip. Right off grip. You see, whoever this Hispanic guy is, because they got to win back the Hispanics. Listen to that lie off grip.
From the very beginning, I used to teach the Second Amendment in law school.
Excuse me, Mr. Patterson. You know what? Is that true? When did you actually? I would be asking that question. What law school? When? How many years you do it? Were you getting paid, or are you counting you raising your hand in the classroom and making a statement as teaching? That's what I'm wondering. Because I don't recall any. I remember this guy. This is the guy who got paid like something $1 million, never showed up to teach a class. But off grip, he starts off by saying he used to teach the Second Amendment. So when you say you're teaching the Second Amendment, nothing else. The class is called Second Amendment 101. That's the only thing we're going to focus on. Not all the amendments, just Second Amendment 101 taught by Creepy Sleepy. So now you said he used to teach the Second Amendment. Well, that would mean he should know something about the Second Amendment.
From the very beginning, there were limitations. You couldn't own a cannon. You couldn't. You could own a rifle, a gun, but there were certain things you couldn't do. But they weren't weapons of war.
Now you hear his aide right there. That's the puppet master out there with him. Now I talked about the puppet master the other day. If you can't have all of the other puppet masters there, they use the people who brings him out, and they say, "All right, now I got him. Don't worry. Y'all hand him off to me, and I'll make sure that if he starts drifting or something, we either go to commercial, or if he says something stupid, or I will act as if I'm validating the stupid stuff he's saying." So now Joe is running back the same thing that he has been criticized for by coming out using the same lines to justify getting our guns. Oh, you can't own a cannon. How many times have that been debunked? And you hear what this guy says?
You couldn't own a cannon. You couldn't. You could own a rifle, a gun, but there were certain things you couldn't do.
Weapons of war.
They weren't weapons of war.
See? Instead of saying, actually, Mr. President, that's not true. We've been watching you for the last 4 years now. Continue to say that, and all you got to do is type it in the Google. Okay. All right. Can you legally buy a cannon? What? Oh, and oh, if it's neither, okay, it's Luke Cannon nor pre and then one the $200 tax and filled out the form. Let me see. The cannons are categorized as destructive devices under the 1934 National Firearm Act, but they're legal under federal law and in most states. Did that part get removed from him teaching the Second Amendment? Maybe he skipped over that part. Or is he a raggedy Democrat that manipulates the Second Amendment and the laws and try to pretend like you support it? See, that's the key to try to trick us into thinking we're not really after your guns. They all say this. I'm a big proponent of the Second Amendment, but give me all those guns. Give me all of them. I'm a big proponent of the Second Amendment. Hey, look, I'll be the first to say I defend the Second Amendment, but give me all those guns. Yeah, just like to come out, I defend freedom of speech. I'm a big proponent of the First Amendment too. But you need to shut your mouth. We're going to rip you off the internet. You understand what we're talking about? You understand that? But yeah, you know what? Our freedom of speech is, see, they're double talking constantly. So if he really knew the Second Amendment, he would know that you can buy a cannon in most states. Interesting. Very interesting. So now,
from the very beginning, there were limitations. You couldn't own a cannon. You guys to teach the Second Amendment in law school.
Bullshit.
thank you, Trump. We all know that. Because remember, yeah, I was a firefighter. I was a gymnastic teacher. I was a aeronautics engineer. I was a train conductor. I used to drive the choo-choo train and then the trolley too at the same time. One foot was over on the choo-choo train and one foot was in the trolley, and I would drive them like this, like Spider-Man. You remember that movie? Yeah, this guy right here lies about everything in his background. But you think that dude sitting there with his legs crossed is going to say, wait a minute, Mr. President, I'm gonna have to fact check you there. I have to ask some questions about that. Where'd you teach and where'd you teach this? Nothing. You think the fake news who watched this interview are gonna follow up to find out if that's true? We are the worst enemy to the fake news because see, soon as we hear creepy say stupid stuff, we start going to go. We dig and find it out and embarrass them. And they act like they don't have those resources to find out. But let Trump say something like that. They would dedicate their whole staff into fact checking it, going back to see if it's true. What time was he there? When did he teach it? What did he say? Can we find some witnesses that were in the classroom? I want to know, is there anyone who can validate that? They would break their necks to find out if what Trump is saying is true or not. But they would just sit back and assume, I guess, that what he just said was true. I tell you, he said he taught, so I mean, what am I? Who am I to question that? Who do you think I am? The press? So let's continue.
No, they really, and Trump is totally opposed to it.
No follow-up to that? Full-blown scripted. No, really, Trump is totally opposed to it. Opposed to what?
Totally opposed to it. Guess what?
Guess
Well,
what?
guess what, man?
Well, it's not yet, but guess what?
Well, guess what?
But guess what? When you have to pay $35 for an overdraft or a check, but guess what? I changed it.
But guess what?
Guess what?
The universities don't have.
And look at that guy. Look at the actor. You see the actor? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're delightful. You're delightful to speak with, Mr. President. Oh, so insightful. Well, I tell you, that was a hard-hitting interview there. He this guy's a puppet too. There's two puppets we're watching. Sitting there, just nodding along.
These large funds. And guess what?
And guess what? We'll buy your product, but only at this price.
So really, they're giving Joe a PR contribution. This right here is a campaign contribution. That's what it is. It's, hey, can we have you guys help change the image of Creepy Sleepy and send him out there for a scripted interview? Let you walk around, pretend like you're going into different environments and you're asking him some questions. Give him a chance to vomit up some talking points to the audience and then trash Trump without you even questioning what he's saying to be true or anything. That's all this is. And I don't know why they don't have to register. I mean, we donated some free propaganda to the Biden administration. Are we allowed to do that for free? We got it. Nothing. That's all this is right here. This guy's just tagging along with him and letting him read his script.
Well, guess what?
And guess what?
Made it harder for people to buy stabilized braces.
Braces. Don't know if you're talking about on your teeth or what. So now this is the guy who taught the Second Amendment, y'all. The one that is very detailed with the facts. And he talking about some, guess what? Well, this is what? I'm going to trust you with our Second Amendment that Trump don't know nothing about, I guess.
Put a pistol on a brace, it turns into a gun.
Classic.
Makes it more, you can have a higher caliber weapon, a higher caliber bullet coming out of that gun.
Yeah.
It's essentially turning it into a short barrel rifle.
Now, that would be my first question after that guy just flubbed up the whole Cannon statement. Well, actually, Mr. President, I mean, we did hear you come out talking about a brace that if you put the gun on the brace, not the brace on the gun, it turns into a rifle, and then it creates a higher caliber bullet. So now how can we trust what you're talking about in regards to cannons? Do you know what a cannon is? Yes, it's a camera. Yeah, I got one right at my house. Me and Hunter use it. Hunter used it for some stuff, some private videos he made and stuff like that. I love my Canon. No, Mr. I tried to throw you the... All right, go to commercial. Let's try this again when we get back. Somebody go get the adrenaline shot. He's running low. So guess what? Football to the groin.
This contest is over. Give that man the $10,000.
Football to his groin.
Did you
Oh, here it is.
spend a lot of time thinking about what your legacy will look like?
God. Oh, good. Do you understand the difference? If this was Trump, do you spend a lot of time thinking about how your legacy as a white nationalist and a Ku Klux Klan member and a white supremacist and a Nazi and a Jesus / the devil and Hitler and all of that stuff would be? Do you think about that? But they're asking this guy, do you think about what your legacy would be? Go ahead. I mean, they told me to ask the question. I'm following through. Is he going to answer it? Do I need to step in? No, give him some time to think about it. So let's give him some time before we interrupt it.
Well, I hope the legacy is that I kept my word, that I said that the reason I was running was to help change the life of ordinary people.
Now, in that cut, I wonder how many times they had to redo that one. Cut. All right, let's go to a different angle. Let's try that again because he started trailing off about ice cream. So let's get back in there. Remember, presidents, I stick to your what you call it. So somebody says, a lot of people are saying they did not get a notification tonight. And I figured they didn't. Yeah. Thank y'all. If you didn't get one, please type it in there. So now, of course, his legacy, keeping his word, the same word that made him drop out twice. Before when he was running because of plagiarism and lying about his background and all of that stuff. That guy. Yeah, he wants us to say he couldn't even keep his word about Afghanistan. We're going to go back and get him we're going to make sure they all come home. Didn't even do it. Can't keep his word about nothing. But now they're giving him a chance to lie again right on TV. And this guy's just nodding along.
They reduced the prospect of war.
What?
And because of Vietnam.
Vietnam? How did... You can't spring out on us, creepy. Mm-hmm. So your legacy starts off keeping your word. You ran. Maybe he's talking about something about Vietnam that made him run. Once again, we got to fill in the blanks when it come down to creepy. Because see, if you guys run into me on the street, I saw your show last night. You were talking about an interview that Creepy did. He was mentioning something about his legacy. What was he talking about? Dude. All right, wait. There was there was a Latino guy. There was Creepy. And there was some about the Vietnam War and his legacy and lies. Wait, no. Keeping his promise about his lies. Something like that. That's all I got. That's all I got. He didn't put this in no context. So we don't know if in his mind he's right back there during this time. We don't know. Or if he's referencing that. In his mind, he might be thinking the Vietnam War is still going on right now. Who knows?
And when I ran, I said that I was once asked, well, why when I was 29 years old, said it must be a secret. And I said, yeah, the secret you got to ask yourself is, what are you willing to lose over? You figure out what you're willing to lose over, you got an idea what you should be doing. And so I hope...
As he looks down at the notes, you see that? And so I hope that... wait, let me read this again. Let me get my glasses. I hope that because I surely didn't know you were going to ask this question. This is right off the top of my head as I look down at my notes. Just want you to know that. Now, you see this mess? This guy right here does memorize fragments of this made up story that he oftentimes make up. And in the midst of it, he goes right back down to reference, make sure he's still on script. And I hope that I'm getting this all right. Because if I'm not, we're going to have to do the next, what number take are we on? 8,000? Okay. I'm going to have to do another take if I don't. So I hope that I get it right this time. And here he is talking about, I hope that...
My legacy is that I was honest, straightforward, and did what I said.
Look straight down at those notes to make sure. Now, what type of interview works like that? Just out of nowhere, the guy says, how would you like your legacy to be? Do you ever think about that? And he starts with this very scripted sounding, legacy that he thinks about and something about Vietnam and what inspired him to run. But in the midst of that, he goes right back down to his notes that are supposed to be, because what he's talking about, remember, is off the top of the dome. It's supposed to be off the top of the dome. So how did you know? Did you start off saying, I'm going to do an interview and something tells me that this guy's going to be asking about my legacy? That's what something tells me. Or could it be that they said, ask Joe about his legacy. And Joe, this is what you're going to say about your legacy. And just let him finish it. So he rips off that while looking down. Now, guys, that guy, unbelievable. This is what his legacy is going to be. And this is why they had to get him to come out there and read some bootleg script. Only legacy he's going to have is something like this.
As we evolve our institutions and drive creative new partnerships, let me be clear. Certain principles of our international system are sacrosanct.
Okay.
Groundbreaking.
That's going to be his legacy. This guy will be immortalized on the internet. Once Trump derangement syndrome kind of calms down, if we ever get out of this mess, if our country somehow pulls it slightly back together, that man will be laughed at forever. Nobody's going to remember his legacy because he don't have one. That man ain't never done nothing right. And when people snap back into reality and start really seeing him for what he is, they're going to be saying this guy was a racist right in front of our eyes as we were going around looking for racism. The fat racist right in front of our face that we voted for, telling everybody, go get racism and Trump, he's racist, white nationalist, xenophobia, homophobia. And y'all were chasing it around, seeing it in everything except the very vessel that was telling you it was everywhere, everywhere. Hopefully they'll see him for that. They will see him for the liar he's been. They will see him for all of the horrific policies. They will see him for the puppet that he is, allowing himself to be used to destroy the whole country. They will see him for the dummy that he is. And they will see him, my personal favorite, for all of these gaffes. Woo, because see, I like comedy. I already know he's a dodo bird. He's corrupt. He's evil. He's stinking. He's funky. He's tart. He's all of that stuff. But he's funny by accident. When he tries to make a joke, it never lands. But when he says stuff like this, I bust a gut.
Making Asian Americans like Vera Wang and Joan Shingang, I'm going to pronounce right, Shanga Kawawa.
Yes, there's his legacy. I'm telling you, if I live to be 100, I'm going to be playing those clips. All right, come here, everybody. Right here in my house. Back in my day, we used to laugh at Joe Biden. I got some old footage on the VHS I want to show you. And show him all of these. Here's his legacy.
Beer brewed here. It is used to make the brew beer in this refinery.
What?
Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes. I wonder what it's
My man, just in his brain, said, all right, reach in the bag, grab a bunch of words, throw them out there, and read those words. Yeah, we're a beer running around. If you're real, beer grew. So let's see if we could go ahead and break that down because we don't want to mess up his legacy. Hold on.
Kawawa. Beer brewed.
The beer brew here.
Here.
Look, you see the beer? Go to Russ. Yeah, see, okay, it's like a song. Okay, here we go.
It is used to
It is used to make the brew here.
make the brew beer in this fire.
The fire.
Oh, Earth.
Ooh, Earth Rider. Ooh, Earth Rider. Now that's hot. That's a hot lyric in this song right there. The beer brew here. Ooh, Earth Rider. So, ooh, Earth Rider.
Rider, thanks for the
Thanks for the Great Lakes.
Great Lakes. I wonder why.
I wonder why. And then that was it. They just reached in, man, grabbed out some words, threw them on the table. The beer brew here. Ooh, Earth Rider, run. That is unbelievable. Do you understand how funny that moment is coming out of a president, a so-called president? Did you ever think you would live to see the day when we would see something that magnanimous? A president sitting back just saying random words. Chicken, run, stank, hungry, fat hamburger, up, down, snipe, snoop, snup. You know what? They're public enemy number one. Okay, thank you all for coming out. Just random words. But it doesn't stop there because this is his legacy.
Donald Trump a valuable lesson.
Teach him.
Don't mess with the women of America unless you want to get the benefit.
And watch this. Look at them. Look at the women of America. Yeah, look at them when they probably put up that sign. Applaud. Woo! What did he say? I don't know. What did he something about America? Okay, well, this doesn't matter. They're telling us to applaud. Woo! Now that just goes to show how either scripted his little so-called rallies are, or how dumb the people are that are at those rallies. That where they don't stop for a second and say, what are we applauding for with it? I didn't even understand that. Could you repeat that? No, because I don't even know what I said. That's what would happen. You think that man can repeat that? He could never repeat these statements that I'm playing right here because they're unrepeatable. Hey, this guy can't sit back and say, I actually said, hey, unreal.
By the end of a governing crisis, it's time to end these constant. Anyway.
Yeah, left us all hanging right there. Sitting there. Now, remember, guys, they've been lying to us saying, actually, Joe Biden's very sharp. You should see him in meetings. He conducts the meetings and he asks questions and he's doing that right now. He's in the meeting. And he can't even finish his thought.
Good. Now.
Anyway. Yeah, he had to go with the anyway to get out of that.
This spring is here. The seasons and allergies are upon us. We're on the rise even more. Travel.
This is not and I'm gonna rise anymore. Oh, here's another one. Look at him. I think he got a choo-choo train hat on because he used to drive those, right?
Over 140 countries around the world. That's how I'll paraphrase the phrase of my own neighborhood. Okay. The rest of the countries, the world's not a patch on our genes.
What the?
If we do what we want to do, we need to do.
Trying to sound deep? Yeah. You know what? Fat meat don't have any grease. Just got here. Can't tell penny or nothing. Or which way is up? I don't know. You tell me. But the rest of the world got to get behind us and jump on our back to run underneath our foot, and over the hill we go. Shoot. You tell me. I don't know what that means, Joe. Oh, boy.
It's never been a good bet. Thank you all so very, very much.
There we go.
Thanks, everybody. And by the way,
bring up those oyster
say
bunnies.
hello to oyster bunnies. Come on up.
There you go.
Get up here so they can see you.
That's his legacy.
So, I'm going to say something outrageous.
You always do, Joe. More outrageous than what we heard? More outrageous than what we heard? Please give us some more. Creepy. We want more of you being remembered on the internets for the rest of history.
I have never been particularly poor at calculating how to get things done in the United States Senate.
We'll break that mess down.
So the best way to get something done...
Hold on, let me get my notes. Because Joe is breaking this mess down. He said the best way to get something done. Okay, let me write. I got my ink pen, but let me see. Okay, I'm going to write with this. All right, let me see. The best way to get something done by Joe Biden. All right, okay, I'm ready, Joe.
If it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to...
Like to be able
Anyway.
Wait a minute, hold on. I didn't get that last part. Like to be able to, anyway. ... Wait a minute. Hold on, excuse me, Mr. Creepy. You never finished telling us how we can get stuff done. So you just ended with anyway. Well, that's right. That's how you get things done anyway. So wait, is any way to get something? I can do stuff anyway? So that's how you get it done anyway. Thank you, Joe. That was so insightful. So no matter how we do it, no matter if it's half butt, we can do it any way we want, like you guys operate okay, good. So that's why the train was blown up and everything, and then the war in Afghanistan was botched. We did it anyway. And the border is open. That's how we handle things anyway. Okay, no set way. We handle stuff anyway. That's what Joe's message was to us, y'all. Anyway, want to get something near and dear done to you. Yeah, anyway.
Pennsylvania,
Here's one.
I have a message for you.
What?
Send me to Congress that I can support this right, and I promise you, if we take back Congress, we will restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land.
Y'all hear that? Joe's going back to Congress, y'all. That man said, forget running for president. I'm going back to Congress, baby. And I'm still going to be president at the same time. So I guess he's going to do that anyway. See, because remember, he's a Democrat. He can do it anyway. I'm going to be in Congress and be in the White House at the same time. And just in case you're wondering about me talking about some anyway.
Think about what you'd think about at the time.
That's what you got to do. He's dropping knowledge. This is his legacy, y'all. Yeah, anyway. Now think about what you think about at the time. When you think about it. If it's thunk. Okay, if it ain't thunk, you didn't think about it the right way. You got to stop and think about it. But don't think too much. Anyway, here we go. That's right. Boy, that right there is never leaving the internets. Never. They still are yet to come out and correct that and say what he actually said. That's why you know he said what he said. See, I guarantee you the White House transcriptor is probably like, God, what do you want me to do with this? I don't know. I mean, try to break it down. It sounded like he said my butt's been wiped. You can't. All right, just say my ribbon white. Can you do that? Well, no, nobody will know what that means. Well, we don't know what it means. Just put something down. So now they got to put down my butt's been white. But look at this. Look at this legacy right here. Yeah, we're respected on the world stage right there. He's all tuckered up, flying all over the place. You know Joe can't handle that. He needs about 8 naps. Y'all making too much noise. Creepy trying to sleep. Creepy's kind of sleepy. Lord, man, you know, man, when the itis gets you, when that monkey jump on your back, it ain't much you can do about it. Joe in a full-blown meeting with cameras all around him, arms folded. I'm surprised he ain't got his shoes off underneath the table. You know you comfortable when you kick the shoes off under the table, sitting there with his black mask on, thinking that it's that black mask you put over your eyes when you sleep at night. Because most of the time you wear it, it's just all over the place. I'm right at home, just like I always take my shoes off, put my black mask. They don't even see me. My whole eyes are covered. Wait, they're not? Oh, well, anyway. That's what it goes down to. So I know he's struggling, right? He probably got 2 midgets hanging onto each eyelid, just trying to pull them down. That's how heavy those eyelids are. Midgets dangling off them eyelids, pulling them down. Oh, he's starting to drift. He's dreaming right now. Oh, yeah, some hair back at the pool with the kids, rubbing all on my legs. Oh, wait, is that corn pop coming? Oh, man, you know what? Let me get my chain so I can whip it around his head. Oh, corn pop, don't do it, corn pop. Oh, man, I thought you was corn pop. Dreaming about corn. Wait, definitely, I get it. Now, he's pulling that move. You know that brother was asleep. And then he gonna wake up trying to clap and don't know anything he's clapping about. Now, if I was the guy who's just talking, I'd be like, excuse me, Mr. President of the United States, what exactly are you clapping for? What were we talking about? I don't know. Something about anyway. There it is. That guy woke straight up and went right into clapping. What? I'm asleep. Oh, that's that. I've seen people in church do that. In there, start off pretending that they're real deep. But they sleep. Yeah, they're deep, all right, deep in sleep. And I'm trying to pretend they're meditating. And then when the crowd change or somebody say, excuse me, brother, and they, hallelujah, glory, come out that sleep trying to pretend they was all in praise and meditation. That's what Joe just did. Just came straight out clapping. Look, rubbing the eyes. You can't make it no more obvious than that. Man, that man looked like he is hurting. I'm telling you right now. You ever been so asleep you feel sick? I've done that before where I burn the candle on both ends, go straight into work. Oh man, I got some stories for y'all, man. Well, I mean, when I was a teacher, boy, I tell you, you sit back and you know you're gonna pay the price. Out there playing spades, 2 in the morning, you're like, all right, let me see, I gotta be in class at 7. It's only like 5 more hands. I think I could go ahead and I should be okay. I mean, I might be. Next you know, it's 4:30. Man, you know what? Shoot. I gotta get up in like 2 hours. Maybe I should just go ahead and just stay up. You get to work, boy, sitting at that desk trying to cover those eyes. And I'd be sitting there like, all right, kids, I need y'all to, we're gonna watch a movie today. No, we're going off script, so y'all gotta be flexible. I'm turning on the, what is that? Hey, man, come on, you put this on right there. I'm gonna sit down for a second. I gotta read some stuff right. And put that hand over the head, and every once in a while, this is where you get busted. Right there. See, you can only hold on so long. Once you start slipping or feel like you're falling and you overcorrect, everybody knows you were asleep. The overcorrection gets you every time. And the eyes tell on you, bloodshot red. Mr. Kevin, where you sleep? Nah. Voice and everything. I what? I wasn't asleep. Why you at me? Go back to your seat. Asking me if I'm asleep. Getting mad at the kids because they catch you sleeping. So now there's Joe. He's mad. Holding that mask, rubbing those eyes like a kid. So that's his legacy. Oh, what's this?
At a political level.
Look at the guy. The guy's sitting there like, what y'all want me to do? What do you want me to do with this? I'm sitting right here and this guy's, he ain't looked up in like 7 minutes. I don't know if he's asleep or reading his notes in his lap, which is a mix of both. His level. Do you understand how weak of a voice that is? That guy can't understand what he's saying anyway. Nobody can. And they probably did that on purpose. Don't put the mic close to his mouth. And he's sitting there so-called reading. This is amazing, man. I'm telling you, man, if this was not real, it would make for the best comedy about the worst president of all times. Every one of these clips would be inserted in the movie, man. I mean, this is like some old school Jim Carrey type stuff. I'm talking, we going back with some real, when comedy was real. I'm talking that Eddie Murphy type stuff when he was funny. Talking about some Roxanne, you ain't got to put on the red light. I'm talking some Trading Places type funny, man. This guy right here is hilarious. But the sad part is it's real. So now you see him with the hands and the knuckles talking about some head straight down, cheating. That man he's cheating while he's sleeping. How you gonna be cheating and sleeping at the same time? Man looking at them notes like, all right, thank you all for coming. They won't let me answer questions. And this guy's embarrassed. He don't know what to do. He's just sitting there like, what do I do with this?
As I affirmed your friend.
Oh, there he is again. Oh, the heavy breathing. You see the whole body? No doubt that man sleep. Black gate drop, can't explain that. You said that he was just resting his eyes, but his whole torso was going up and down like he was taking sleep breaths. Well, sleep was on top of mine. It was on top of mine. And oftentimes, come on, Peter, sometimes when you're thinking about sleep and it's on top of mine, you actually look like you're sleeping when you're not really sleeping. So that guy right there with the little ducktail and the heavy breathing, that's his legacy.
We are a community that relies on CASHAPP.
Don't wake up, y'all. They're there. Oh, you see? That's the subconscious nodding right there. That's the autopilot. He got the autopilot on. Boy, I tell you, that autopilot will make you, just to make people think you're still engaged. Head down, what? That's crazy. Knowing that man sleep, but not. Poor Joe. No, I'm not feeling bad for him. Even though he didn't turn on the autopilot. Oh, look at this. This is great for his legacy. I played this the other night. Might as well jump or sniff. Where's that, a baby? My nose never lies. What do you want, little black man? Shouldn't you be back in Africa? Oh, wait, I'm supposed to come with you? Okay. No more sniffing, huh? So, guys, let's get to while we're here. Now, it would be absolutely obvious if somehow all of that mess we just saw, that legacy of Joe, they want us to think that interview was legit. They want us to really respect what he was just saying after that. That's the real legacy of Joe. I don't care how much you stick him in a controlled atmosphere and have that dude go along with the script, have many takes, let Joe read about his legacy as he's acting like he's unscripted. This is what unscripted looks like. And this is why Trump is smashing this dude. And there's no way in the world Joe could work the crowd like Trump can. No way in the world. So we're going to show the difference between these two. And here's the crazy part. If somehow Biden gets stuck back in office, there was no question whatsoever. There wasn't no question the first time, whether Trump won or not, in my eyes, after all the evidence I saw. But if they pull that off again, do you think not only all of us from last time would be going bull crap, but all of these new people coming in supporting Trump would all be going, man, Gizmo, you know what? You're going to get it. Oh, I got an update on Gizmo, y'all. He done messed around, knocked one of my lights down. Snooping around because he's a curious little dog, isn't he? Now, you better be lucky I'm on camera or else, daddy would get physical with you. And then the people be calling the animal, activists on me. I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to whoop the kid. Nowadays you can't whoop the kids on TV. And you spank their butts inside of the store or something, and Johnny Law come and take you away. So I want you to go somewhere. Now, guys, I got an update on Gizmo. I got him back last night. Y'all ain't gonna be able to see him. Gizmo been scalped. Somebody got to him. I guess the new groomer that I've been trying out must have saw my show. She might be a liberal and was like, you know what? I'm going to show that black white nationalist. I hope he brings Gizmo in. And I'm going to show him. And went to work on Giz. I don't know if they thought he was getting into the Marines. Maybe they thought he was enlisting into the Marines. And I'm like, what? Man, I ain't even recognize him. Man, I don't even want y'all to see him right now. I mean, that's how bad. She straight up, she lost herself a customer, first of all. But she straight up scalped my dog. You know what? Y'all better not. Oh, Gizmo. Oh, what have they done to you? Look at that. Gizmo looked like a rat terrier. All of his fur gone. Oh, he ain't fluffy no more. It'll grow back. Hopefully. That person's done. He ain't got no fur on his feet and then blamed it on me. All right, now, I know what probably happened. First of all, it was later in the evening when I took him. Secondly, Gizmo gives everybody a fit when he's getting his hair cut. That's the worst thing you could do to him. He acts like he's dying. He even gets violent, he's trying to snap at people, so they probably had to yoke him up with the noose, and in the midst of that, probably went a little too deep. Okay, hold him still. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. How am I going to fix that? There's a big patch missing. Let's just say he was natted. So that was the excuse. Wow, he was really, he's natted up and he was moving around a lot. And I said, you couldn't have called me and say, hey, look, man, my dog is a little natted. Do you want me to shave him down? Nobody's ready for that. When you got to walk in and don't even recognize your own dog. I was upset, man. So if you're in this area and you're looking for a dog groomer, don't use her. Next time y'all see him, let that hair grow back. It's going to be like 8 months, low as she cut him. I'm sorry, I got distracted, man, because of Gizmo. I'm sorry, buddy. I'm sorry I did that to you. I shouldn't have tried to save money. Yeah, that's what happens. All right, now let's get back to this. The difference between these two right here. So let's see. Look at that picture. This picture says it all.
30 milkshakes.
Look at that.
And also some chicken. And we're going to take care of the customers.
They're supposed to be yelling at this white nationalist right
Making a
here.
lot of money. We're going to get rich, right?
Yes.
So he asked, "Are you a Republican?" And she said, "Yes." Had she said no, would he still have ordered the 30
I think
milkshakes?
That's a good question because, see, you got to understand. Trump don't go into controlled environments because he's not crazy. He's not a puppet. Yeah, Trump goes in and says, let Trump be Trump. He rarely uses teleprompters and notes. When he speaks to his crowd, he might have a couple bullet points and remind him and stay on task. But he goes in and he just lets his personality shine. And he even ran the risk of it being an uncontrollable outcome. He didn't know if any of these black folks was going to be like, get out of here, you white nationalist. We don't want you in here. Where you going to come up and shoot? He didn't know that. He went in like, you know what? Whatever the situation is, I can handle it. Unlike Creepy, I'm pretty sure every single thing, every environment he goes in, they're like, all right, now we got to make sure no one pops up and asks him a random question, give him the notes to ask. Now, do you think all of those little girls that was behind that counter, you think they all are scripted? You think they got their notes too? You think they're sitting there like, all right, what do we say when Trump asks us questions now? You think that? You think these people right here have notes? You think Creepy could walk in there and do what he's doing? And yet they're trying to tell us, people love Joe.
Was he talking about, did one of the workers have a nose ring? And that's what he was saying. That's beautiful. It's art. And he pointed to his nose.
Right.
I love when Trump does this kind of stuff. It's so
I love when Trump does that too. Because see, I would have thought Trump would have been like, what is that garbage in your nose? Is that a booger? Get that mess out of here. What's wrong with you people? Yeah, you would have thought he would have said something like that. But he compliments the girl's nose ring, calls it art, got those little girls. Now they're young too. These are the most vulnerable people that are susceptible to catching TDS. And they're young, and they were up in there kik-yakking and kik-yakking and all of that in front of Trump. Loving him.
funny. And we've seen him do it before. Remember after his first court appearance, he went to that
Touching
Cuban
all
restaurant.
That's
bought
right.
Cuban food for
He
him.
didn't sniff one of them. He ain't sniff one of them. Yeah, not one of them, y'all. He didn't jump at one of them like this. He didn't start going towards them like Frankenstein. He didn't do none of that. And they loving him.
Everybody now it's Chick-fil-A and milkshakes for
So
everybody.
the second part of it I thought was really telling. Number one, unscripted. You have a very scripted press conference out there in the Rose Garden with the Chinese Prime Minister.
Oh, yes.
And he has the questions, he's got the answers, he's scrambling to find out the order. Then you have another guy who walks into a fast food restaurant in downtown Atlanta and just says, let me order some of the food you have and let me just smile and
Look at that in the pictures with the brothers with the tats on the face. Now you know you a true brother. You know you a true brother. Yeah, fool. Hey, man, listen, man. Bro, in the crib, man, listen, let me tell you, bro. Man, they were telling me Scrump was coming in town, man. I was like, what? You got to be kidding me, Scrump coming? Man, you know what, man? I jumped in my deuce in the quarter, baby. You know what I'm saying? Rolled down there, man. Johnny on the spot, fool. Went up in there, yo, man. Scrump, what's up, baby? Give me the love, man. Yeah, he complimented me on my tattoos across my face and stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my boy, man. I would say that's my you-know-what, but people sensitive nowadays, man. Anyway, though, Trump, man. Trump 2024, baby. That's what's happening. The brothers are in the house. That's a true brother. Yeah, that ain't no paint. That's a full-blown tattoo on his face. And he is just up there cheesing with Trump.
find out what the people think. I don't know how this could go. If it went bad, there were plenty of cameras.
100%.
But not only did it go good dealing with the people behind the camera, I could see the raw feed.
That's 'cause he
when he went
reversed.
up to Michaela Montgomery, he had another extemporaneous conversation. Listen to this exchange that even USA Today had to write up as a positive.
Oh, now you know that's bad. You know it hurt them. Like, oh man, that looks so good for Trump. It's undeniable. We can't spin it somehow. I have yet to see them try to come out and spin this as a negative. I'm sure they're probably working on it somehow. Actually, what you're seeing here is AI. That is not actually Donald Trump. Now, I cannot confirm or deny this, but my sources say that was not Trump. That was actually Biden with a Trump mask on. And those people were loving on him because they knew it was really Biden. No, I take that back. That was Trump. But instead of feeding them milkshakes, he tempted them and lured them into a big room and whipped them. Yes, he wanted them to see how their ancestors were treated. Yeah, I think that's your. Now I can't confirm that. I can't confirm that, but I think that. I wonder how they're going to spin this right here. And you tell me if you think that Trump can get on stage and debate with Creepy, and Creepy's able to flow like this. You know, nothing scripted. You can't tell if something's going to go wrong, if a question is going to be asked, that you are, I don't know any idea what to say about this. So let's see how Trump handles the people versus Joe.
So I don't care what the media tells you, Mr. Trump. We support you.
Beautiful moment.
Okay, 4 p.m. We've been 4 p.m.
Come here, let me give you a hug.
Now, I know when they saw this, when the fake news and the Democrats saw this happen, they probably was like, God, dog, oh, man. Do you know how much time we've been putting in trying to convince everybody this man is hated by black folks and he hates black folks? And then he goes and do this. Shows up down there. This black girl got there. They probably mad at this black girl. They probably like, who is this black girl that messed up our gonna come out there with her skull cap and her long doo-doo braids in her hair, talking about something. I don't care what the media say about you. We love you, Mr. Trump. And then what Trump does, blows it all out the water. Oh, come here. Give me a hug. So she runs over and embraces this white nationalist, y'all. Look at that. That man set aside all of that white supremacy, all of that racism, all of that, and embraced this black woman. Look at that. That's a great photo. Great photo. Boy, I tell you, that's a knife to their gut. But you know what they'll do? They'll go on like that never happened. That will be a legacy moment for Trump. That right there, that girl right there will always be known now for that. She has just become famous by accident, just because she was being honest and real, and she's very informed as well about what's going on with Trump. And so just her being bold enough to get out there and say what she said opened up doors that she probably don't even foresee. I'm sure people are going to be wanting to interview. Who is the girl that gave Trump the hug? We want to get an interview with her. So that woman right there gave him the biggest hug. And that was a beautiful moment that really should blow the water, blow it out the water when it comes down to this fake narrative that Trump's a racist. So let's see, here we go. Oh, so Trump been doing this for a while, guys, where he'll go into a McDonald's, he'll just make a cameo appearance. And I have never seen anybody get mad when Trump shows up into one of these places. They all are embracing, they all want to be next to him, they all want to get over to him, they all want autographs. So we're going to see just the Trump effect that happens when he goes out. This is a clip of him right after he had to go down, I think, to Miami and address this whole foolishness with Jack Smith after the indictment. And I guess on the way back, he stopped at some Greek, I don't know if it was a restaurant or whatever, but it was a birthday party. And Trump has the Trump effect. Instead of going in moaning and groaning, all mad, he goes in and has a good time. And look what the people is doing. And these party poopers don't like that. They don't want to see people having a good time. They don't want to see people rallying around Trump. They don't want to see people, they're like the devil. See, that's what confuses the devil. When Christians will praise God in spite of all the stuff they're going through, it drives them crazy. They sitting back like, man, we done went ahead and messed him up financially. We done touched his body. Like, we got his family acting crazy. Yeah, man. Now, let's see if he go up in church this week talking about some hallelujah. Let me get my shout on and the big claps. And when you go up there and you do that, they're going, what we got to do? What we got to do to stop this man? So now, here's CNN, being the haters that they are. They want to focus on pooping on the party. They want everybody to know that Trump evil and he stole them documents and stuff like that, while he's trying to have a good time. And so are the people.
National security laws and then obstructing and refusing to cooperate with the FBI.
Now look, they in there singing happy birthday. And what is CNN doing? Hating on him. Why even show this? He's been indicted.
Whatever this spectacle is that's unfolding
Whatever the
before us,
spectacle
let's
is.
remember.
What do you mean a spectacle? They're singing happy birthday. Because CNN is party poopers. Boom, boom. Party poopers. Boom, boom. Throw that 808. Party pooper. If it's a party in the house, CNN wanna poop on it. So they up in here finding some way to be negative. Trump ain't been, found guilty of none of this. They just, from the indictment alone, is covering this event as if he is completely evil and found guilty. Listen to their tone.
For what this case is about.
I don't know what this thing is that's going on, right? What do you think's going on? That's what burns me up. Trump's not making a speech or nothing. He's simply sitting there and the people loving him and talking about some happy birthday in there. Oh, I don't know what this event is right here, what this thing is, but we want to get back to how negative we can be about Trump.
Let's remember what this indictment charges.
Yes, we want you to remember this stuff instead of what's going on.
A series of federal felonies for mishandling the most sensitive government documents that we have, and for obstruction of justice, along with Walt Nauta, who is charged with intentionally setting up lies.
Look at the people. The people are like, we love you, Trump. And that is what they hate. They hate this, man. I know they be sitting there like, why won't they love us like that? I mean, can they just see we're fake? And why won't they respect us? Why can't we make them hate Trump like we usually can manipulate people? He just has the it factor. He's real. Yeah, when he gets around people, he makes them feel good. I know that because when I was at the White House, I mean, he just blends in with the crowd and you don't even look at him as a billionaire. I mean, you're just like, man, Trump makes you feel included. But
to the grand jury, to the FBI. Any way you look at this, and again, despite whatever may be going on in that restaurant, this case isn't going to be settled legally in a cafe. It's going to be settled in the court.
Man, these are the ultimate haters, man. Ultimate haters. They up in there having a good time, happy birthday. And not only are they reminding their raggedy audience all of these so-called charges, because they got to make that look, like this is the biggest thing ever. Biggest thing ever. Let's just be clear. I want to make sure everybody understand he's been indicted and he has all these charges. He's been charged with all of this stuff. And then for no reason, just decides to say, I don't care what's going on in this, whatever this is. That shows that they're nasty. That shows that they just despise him and everybody else who loves him. There was no reason to slide that in. None whatsoever. If they were really just saying, well, here's what happened. And then watch this fool right here, fake crapper.
So the facts and law.
The folks in the control room, I don't need to see any more of that. He's trying to turn this in. He's trying to turn it into a spectacle, into a campaign ad. That's enough of that. We've seen it already. Let's go over again the 37 charges.
Let's go over the negative stuff. Party poopers. Here, you see fake crapper? That's it. I can't watch that. You know what happened? Turn this off. We can't watch any more of this. It's not that you didn't want to see any more of that fake crapper. It's that you don't want your audience to see any of that. You don't want Trump to look humanized. You don't want Trump to look beloved. You don't want a caption of people not affected by your propaganda and lies. You would have loved it if everybody would have been forsaking Trump and he would have been standing in there all by himself with a little hat on, with a cake, and nobody showed up. Look at that. Nobody showed up at the president's little birthday gathering right here. It's obvious because he's a criminal and nobody wants to be associated with a criminal. Look, our evilness worked. We've chased them all away from them. Our evilness worked, but their evilness wasn't working. That image right there defied what they were trying to do. It showed Trump not affected by it. The people weren't affected by it. Everybody was celebrating. They were still moved by the Trump effect. And these folks were doing everything they could to hate on it. So now let's check out the difference. Here's creepy. Oh, let's check out the creep with the peeps. So the creep went out and hung out with the peeps. Let's see what happens.
Oh, man, you got chicken fingers. You got
chicken fingers.
I want the room. Making sure I had it. So tell me about you guys. What you doing these days?
Tell me, wait. They told me what to say. Hold on for a second. Let me get my notes. All right. Now, look blacks in the face and ask question about basketball or something. I don't know. All right, wait. They told me what to ask. All right. So what are you people doing these days? And reach for hamburger while asking. Okay, wait, let's start that over. Okay, so put that down. All right, So what are you guys doing these days? Everything scripted. They can't afford to have too many people in this very controlled environment right here because there's too many variables. Too many variables. So kids, you're allowed to ask a question. He's going to ask you this question. Think about what you're going to say, but don't ask him any questions. Everything scripted.
I'm playing AAU basketball right now.
Are you really votes in your card?
Yes, sir.
Voting blocks coming to
another one.
play here and
Here's
really
another
coming.
one. Look at him. Look at all those people in there swarming him. Wanting his autograph. Look at that. He could barely move. He could barely get through there.
Into clear focus as he again.
Nobody's getting up off that table. Nobody's getting off the table to say, hey, can I get a picture with you, creepy? I wonder why not. Because he's loved, right? 81 million votes. Look at that. That's the creep effect. See, Trump has the Trump effect that draws people to him. And these people are indifferent. They are sitting here like, yeah, I heard creepy's coming to town. Now, can you imagine being a president and you are out in an environment and people are just so nonchalant? They're just sitting around like, here he comes over to our table. Like he's a waiter. They probably thought he was. Yeah, I like to get, oh, shoot, the president. My fault. That's what I would have did. I would have stuck a glass in his hand. Like, there you go. Can you go give me a refill? So anyway, what were we saying, Frank? The other day on the job, what happened? So now look at him coming over to the table like a waiter.
Comes here to this state of Michigan to capitalize on that UAW endorsement that we saw last week. So
they're loving it.
We'll
They're
see
loving it.
what kinds of conversations he has with these members. We are told that it is meant to be.
They just smiling along because they probably uncomfortable. Yeah, what did he say? I have no idea. He just came over and shook our hands and said, you know what? My butt's been wiped. And I was like, do you just touch me with that hand? I mean, I don't want to be touching your hand if you just wiped your butt with it. But hey, we'll go ahead and play it on. Yeah. I don't want to touch that butt's been wiped hand. Let's continue.
More of an informal setting. He's not going to be.
Oh, look, and this one tells it all. Right there. That picture right there says it all. That man standing there like, acknowledge me. I'm standing right here looking at you, mister. And that guy's like, you see something? Eyes straight ahead. Like he's a regular, everyday dude in there. That man didn't break. I mean, whatever he was looking at. Yeah, he reminded me of my dog, Sammy, when I would try to feed him medicine. That man would look straight ahead with his head up like this, mouth tight. I don't care what I tried to distract you with. Sammy. That guy was focused. And Creepy was invading it. Yeah, I'm standing here. Should I touch him? He looks like he's mad. Should I say something to him? I don't know. Maybe he don't see me. That man was sitting there, oh, I know you're there. I know you're there. And you mean nothing to me. Nothing. That picture summed it all up. But yet you want me to think this man received 81 million votes. Oh, look at this. Look at the hand. Look at that crippled hand right there. I don't even know how he's able to hold that. Even holding the milkshake that way looks scripted. Now bring your hand down to the bottom. All right, you want this much. You don't drink too much of it. We want to keep it right there because you don't want to get too heavy and that arm starts to go down like this. You know, you can't hold that. Don't fill it all the way up because the arm will just like that. So we keep it at this level and make sure that this other paw is just sitting here dangling like this. So now he comes in here looking like he got one foot in the grave.
Thank you right now. Do you accept?
Talking about a debate.
Said it on radio. What they said to immediately.
Immediately.
Yes.
Will you debate him?
If I were him, I'd want to debate me too.
What? That was your response about debating Trump? Yeah, after what we just saw, we know the answer to that. That laugh right there was a laugh off. You laughed it off. Like, I'd never debate him. He'd kill me. Are you kidding me? I could barely walk. So this guy comes in with his milkshake that he could barely hold and his stiff hand with rigor mortis already setting in. He got a little rigor in that hand over here. Yeah, that's right, Mr. President. Can you shake my hand? Not with this one. Rigor mortis is setting in. Let me put my milkshake down. I can get you with this one. So here he is. That's how he's working the crowd. Oh, God. I get too much joy doing this. He got all kind of stuff. A little Arthur, little palsy. Yeah, he got a hot mix, some rigor. Yeah, a lot going on in that hand. So, guys, we're going to end with the 5 evaluating what's going on with Creepy and Trump and give their take on it. So they're about to jump. I'm going to tell you right now, they're about to jump Creepy. They're going to jump him on the way out. So Joe about to get jumped out of 5.
Donald Trump and Joe Biden are battling over who gets the nuke codes, but the 2 candidates are already going nuclear on one another. President Biden launching this preemptive strike.
What, in your view, constitutes the primary threat to freedom and democracy at home?
Wow, what a perfectly softballed question. What do you think the answer is going to be, Mr. Puppet, who's asking the question, Mr. Prostitute? That man asked, what do you think? Now, Joe knows this one's coming. Do you think this man is... This is so staged and so fake.
Strike.
What, in your view, constitutes the primary threat?
What do you think constitutes the primary threat to the country? What do you think still going to say? Well, actually, it's me and that wide open border I done created. And it's bad, all these terrorists that came in, all these gangbangers and stuff. It's the wars that I just could have stopped, but I didn't, and all the violence going on now. You think he's going to say that? Yeah, my corrupt DOJ and my FBI and the CIA and stuff that I've been using, and you think he'll say that? Me trying to stop Trump and coordinating with all these prosecutors and trying to get him off the ballot. Obviously, this is a question for him to say Donald Trump. Obviously. And this guy's pretending like he's really asking off-the-cuff questions.
To freedom and democracy at home.
Now, he's been hearing them run around every day. The greatest threat to democracy is Trump and his ultra MAGA. Now, they know what the narrative is. They echo the narrative that the Democrats have been using for the last 4 years. And now he's pretending now, I got to ask this question again. Even though we hear you say this every day, all the Democrats systematically, greatest threat to our democracy is Donald Trump. Greatest threat to our democracy is Donald Trump. And then he comes out, what do you think is the greatest threat to the democracy right now to the country? And what do you think? He was like, well, you know what? Everybody been saying Donald Trump, but I'm going to say something different. So here we go with the script.
Donald Trump. Seriously. Donald Trump uses phrases like you're going to eviscerate the Constitution.
Wow. Man, that dude, he does look like, that's that funeral paint that they got on his face. That's that funeral makeup. I'm telling you, man, this guy, I don't know if Joe's going to make it, y'all. They done put him in, they already probably thought he passed away. And I'm still awake, I'm alive. Probably went in that morning like, well, we lost him. Let's go ahead and start putting the paint on his face, making him, all right, well, he's moving. Oh, this guy right here looks like he got funeral makeup on. What is this? So a little rigor in the hand, some funeral makeup on, talking about Donald Trump. Yeah, it was things he says, what am I lying about?
Be a dictator on day one. I can't think of any other time.
Wait, let me look at my notes again. As Donald Trump, he always says stuff. I can't think of any time. Okay, can't think of any time. Voice weak.
In my lifetime, in history, has occurred that you had somebody who's had this kind of attitude.
Man.
That's the response. Man, this is how we all feel. Like, oh, man. Are you kidding me? All the danger. All the crap going on in the world. And you got the nerve to be, Donald Trump. No, for real. Not a joke. I can't think of anybody in this time. Unreal. And that's how I feel after hearing these stinking puppets come out and say the same thing all the time. It's like, oh, man. So fake.
Kamala is backing up Joe's fear flex.
Had it or hit it, Donald Trump.
Had it or hit it. What kind of freaky mess is going on? Hey, get your freak on. What they talking about? I said, have it or hit it.
Totally had it. Had it over and over and over again.
Are you talking about relations with Trump? Ooh, he would never touch you. Willie Brown. Yeah, Willie Brown been all over you. So what are they talking about? Had it. And maybe they need to reword this. But nonetheless, here we go with the old talking point.
There's so much at stake in this election. I don't think it's hyperbolic to say this genuinely could be the last Democratic election we ever have. You're right.
Holy moly. So I don't think it's hyperbolic, even though it is hyperbolic. Do you understand how hyperbolic that statement was? I don't think it's hyperbolic to say this might be the last election we ever have. That's the definition of hyperbolic. So let's see, Greg, do you have a take on this?
Trump is not letting those attacks slide. The former president out in Georgia, where he's got a hero's welcome at Chick-fil-A in Atlanta, and ordered 30 milkshakes for customers who apparently are not lactose intolerant like me. He unleashed the whole arsenal on the Biden regime.
Fire!
We are a nation in decline. Biden is the worst president in the history of our country. He's corrupt and he's incompetent. He can't put two sentences together. And I think we're going to have a tremendous victory. I predict that November 5th will go down as the most important day in the history of our country.
And that's not hyperbolic. He didn't say the last election. He didn't say that. But he said the most important election in our history. And that is 100% true. We have seen the lengths that these people have gone to protect their power. So if they're willing to do these things brazenly and openly, Laquifa James, everybody knows what she's doing up there in New York. Now she's trying to say, I want more evidence and stuff. Y'all didn't give me all the evidence I wanted, and we ain't gonna accept y'all money. And this is the most obvious political persecution I have ever seen, which I've never seen one like this. We only hear about this in myths and in corners. You know what I'm saying? History books. Back in the 13th century, there was stuff like that. We are living it. We're looking at this mess like, can you believe what we're seeing? They think we don't recognize that they have all coordinated this and teamed up. So now, if they're willing to do this to stop Trump, if they do that, what do you think they will do to the rest of us? Do you think that we will ever have a free and fair, I'm not saying we won't have an election ever again, but we will be going through the motions. Only way to solve that would be a revolution. That's it. Because elections would no longer even matter. And this, it appears they're willing to put our backs up against the wall just to remain in power. Right now, do you understand? America is on the verge of exploding. They have created a cultural war. They have done all kinds of stuff to divide us. They have pushed hate and division in the country. They have persecuted conservatives, labeled them this, tried to stop the candidate. And the whole time we're still going, hang in there. Relax, y'all. Because when Trump is winning right now, everything seems to be going well. There's no way without them cheating that Trump won't win. We all know that. So we're restraining all of our frustration, biding our time, because we are praying that God allows this to happen the way we see it and want it to happen. But if these fools, they're willing to do it. This is the crazy part about it, guys. They're willing to do it. That's what's scary. They're willing to do it knowing the risk that it has to the whole country. They're just basically banking on us, if they were to cheat, just saying, dang, man, ain't nothing we can do about it now, y'all, man. But see, what's keeping us from not going crazy is because we still got hope. We still hoping we can pull this off and turn this around. See, but if they take that away again, we're to where you can't even question it. You're just saying, man, there it is. There it is again. Trump was smashing him in the polls. The man could barely walk. He could barely talk. You got all of this, and then they do it again. 4 indictments, all of these crazy. They wouldn't let him pay his fines. They wouldn't let him do this. They tried to take his money. They tried to take his property. They impeached him twice. Then they went after us. All of this crap that they are doing, man, it just goes to show. These folks are like, you know what? We will burn it down. We'll take the chance of complete civil war than to let this man turn America around. So the fact that they're willing to do that in front of us blatantly, it shows just how important this election is to us and them. You understand that? It is that important to them, to where they say, forget trying to be discreet about our corruption. We ain't got time for that. It's that important to us that we win and stop Trump. At the same time, to us, we're saying, we got to win this thing. If we don't, we in trouble. It's that important. So Trump is right about that.
He's done more damage than the 10 worst presidents in the history of our country.
So true.
There has never been anybody that's damaged our country like crooked Joe Biden.
It's garbage.
So they have been talking about.
Tag in Dana. Dana gets the first round with creepy. Go ahead, Dana. Ding.
Protecting democracy for a long time, right? And they've been saying all of this about Donald Trump. And I'm assuming that they did that, one, because they believe it, and also because it probably polls well for them, for their base, which they still need to lock up. But the problem is, right now, they've squeezed all the juice out of that lemon.
So Dana comes in, she starts to jump. So you know when you're about to get jumped. See, if you ain't grew up around, certain environments where you kind of know what's happening. You see people start walking around you, start circling you, looking at you crazy. And you be sitting there like, oh, shoot, I think I'm about to get jumped. Where my boys at? Ain't my boys at? You get your dukes up and head on the swivel as they're circling. And it all takes just one person. So Dana comes in, and then all of a sudden, the jumping begins.
See, I'd love to go to some sound on tape.
Please.
And then I will come to you after that.
Because just a minute ago, Joe was talking about some, we got to go ahead and work with the Republicans, and they won't work with us, and that's why the border's open, and I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing. Congress got to do it, and the Republicans. But now that the State of the Union speech is over, he's doing this fake interview right here, and he knows that the people are furious over this border. So he wants to give us some fake hope that he might just do an executive order now that his election is on the line. Yeah, he might do that now and just shut it down. But before he couldn't do nothing. 3 years of this. And I can't do nothing. What do you want me to do? It's Congress.
Examining whether or not I have that power. There's no guarantee that I have that power all by myself without.
Y'all hear that other word that he uses? That's a word in his vocabulary. There's no guarantee. What is that? Is that a demon trying to get out? So now he's still pretending that he's still trying to figure it out. I want to, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I got that power, even though Trump used it, even though Trump used that power, even though I've been using that power in all the other areas that a dictator would. But now all of a sudden, when it comes to that border, we're still looking into it. I don't know. Hey, look, I'm trying to do something. So I'm going to make y'all think that I'm contemplating this. So all of you that's mad about this border won't say, yeah, they're not doing nothing about it. But he knows he's not going to do nothing.
Legislation. And someone suggested I should just go ahead and try it. And if I get shut down by the court, I get shut down by the court.
Like all the other stuff you just tried and didn't worry about. You didn't worry about getting shut down by the court when you locked people up and made them go get a shot, or else they were fired and got found to be violating their rights. And you didn't think about that. If I try that, if I try, maybe we've been looking into it. We've been asking questions. No, you just did it. Just did it. Yeah, you try to forgive people's student loans. You just did it. But now all of a sudden, we're looking into it. I'm asking some people. Now, that doesn't look like a man that's in control and a man that makes decisions and say, look, man, let's roll with it. Right now, this is a crisis. We have to work it out on the back end, man. Let's shut that border down. And we'll fight for it in court if we have to. But now, it's greater than me. I'm waiting on people to tell me what to do. I don't know.
But we're trying to work through that right now.
Jesse, this is an amazing comparison between a leader and a non-leader. When China got that virus out, you didn't hear Trump go, let's talk about shutting down the border. He actually acts. This guy goes,
man, do y'all hear this outside my house? I live in a decent neighborhood. Somebody out there with a gorilla in the trunk trying to get out. When I was younger, that was cool. Now I know I'm getting old. I'm like, who's making all that noise? I can't hear myself think. So now, that's the difference between a real leader and a puppet that don't know what to do. I need them to tell me what to do.
Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about it. And then nothing happens. And then he returns to it. This guy can't act.
Well, he can act when he wants to.
Yeah.
He acted on bailing out students for their loans, but now I think he's just buying time because he's been debating in his head what he's been doing about this. This is just to kind of entice people to get them all excited about it. But those cameras at Univision, made Joe look old. Those were bad cameras. I would never do another Univision again.
I'm talking rigor mortis old. I'm talking that funeral home makeup old. They probably thought they were dressing him for a funeral. We're bringing Biden in and rolled him into the studio in a chair. There's like, all right, wow. So when did they call it? Called what? The death. He's not dead. He's just sleeping. Oh, he is? Somebody get a mirror. We better check. I don't know. The breathing is not very good. We better go with the funeral makeup just in case he dies in the middle of doing his interview. So he's wearing the funeral home makeup, and Jesse calls it out.
And he was squinting. I mean, he looks 100 years old in that shot. That was not a
He's
good
not
look.
a good 80.
Not a good look.
No, that's an old 80.
Yes. Yes.
They keep saying he's going to end democracy, and I hang around with a lot of liberals. My family's liberals. Even my mother doesn't think he's going to end democracy.
What?
This talking point only exists on MSNBC.
On a fake news. So it's hard to sell this, y'all. It's really hard, but you think they care? You think the fake news and the Democrats care? You think Kamala and Creepy cares? They ain't got nothing left, y'all. Democracy is under democracy that we're destroying. Yeah, so he's going to end it. And people are going, you hear something? You think they believe in this? Most of the people, even if you got Trump derangement syndrome, there's a few that I see on the internet, which you can't trust that they really believe it. They might be paid operatives. But most, you don't hear them complaining about if Trump gets in, he's going to end democracy.
No one ever even comes up to Johnny on the streets and says Trump's a dictator or is going to end democracy. I've never heard this anywhere except on cable news. It's not sinking in. And if anybody's a threat to democracy, we can play that game. It's Joe Biden. I mean, his buddies at the CIA and FBI interfered in the last election. They're still blocking investigations into the Biden crimes. So I don't like playing that game. I don't think that game is effective. I agree with Dana. This is about the economy. Stupid.
You see him jumping him? So Dana started it all, man. Then Greg came in with a 2-piece chicken dinner too. Wait a minute. You know what? Hold on. Let me get, oh man. I broke my wrist when I threw the punch. And now all of a sudden, here comes Jesse from the side, giving it to him. Give him some more, Jesse.
Chick-fil-A event. This was an event to behold. Now, everything you've heard about Donald Trump in the press is that he's like this dangerous racist.
That's what we've been hearing.
He waltzes in there, orders food, and about a dozen African-American women flock to him. And
wait a minute. And jumped him, flocked to him, and walked past him like he wasn't there, Jesse? Is that what they did? Came up to him and started saying, "Free Palestine! Free Palestine!" Did they do that, Jesse? Did they go up to him and start calling him a white supremacist and a white nationalist and he's a racist and he hates them and they're going to send him back to Africa? Did they say that, Jesse? Did they say that? Like the media has been telling us? Or
take selfies. African-American women, the most loyal voting bloc of the Democratic Party. He has them giggling. He has them lining up. He says, "Mom, I'm famous now."
And somebody just mentioned Jessica. She's the designated liberal on the scene. Jessica just can't get right. You know she was watching this clip right there going, oh, God. Now, how am I going to support the racist narrative and those black folks are up there hugging on him? And she's on Fox. So can you imagine the other networks watching this? They probably want to throw up.
It all love in the Chick-fil-A.
All love.
Now, if he can just do this, I would run the Chick-fil-A campaign.
That's a great idea.
I would just go to as many restaurants, grocery stores, malls as I could, and just have regular Americans swarm him, embrace him, and love him. And that is what is going to win him the election.
And show the contrast between all of those so-called haters of Trump, loving all on him wherever he goes to the UFC fights. What do you see? Yeah, Trump. You know what? F Joe Biden. Talking about some America. They all singing songs and stuff. USA. That's what you see. That's what you see. He goes to football games. You know what? USA. Joe Biden goes anywhere. And then you all hear F Joe Biden from us. And then his radical group of people are going, Free Palestine, Genocide Joe. And nobody wants to take a picture with that loser. And yet you're trying to tell me he has a shot at the title? Wow. And then we're going to tag in the heavy hitter to finishing, Judge Janine. Tag in the judge.
Hey, Judge. So I think did the Greenpeace claim that she met with 150 world leaders and they all expressed concern about
150? Chameleon Harris said what? That she met with 150. Have y'all ever seen her? Once again, Democrats, man. They got them look-upable lies. Now, this woman barely leaves the White House, and when they do let her out her cage, she ends up flubbing it up. She goes and meets with people, and now Ukraine. I'm here in Ukraine. Do you understand they will cover that? They will cover that. You barely see anything that she does. She shows up at certain events and things and push a little racism and a whole bunch of fake news and narratives. I do not see her meeting with no dignitaries. So you're telling me, Chameleon, you want us to believe that you met with 150 foreign dignitaries and they always like, I want to talk to you about the Donald Trump. Very concerned about it. Do you think that's true? Man, these folks are masterful liars, but horrible at the same time.
about this. You buy that? No. You buy what she's selling?
No, never have, never will. No,
Get him,
I don't even give it a lot of thought. Look, the whole idea, and I just want to continue with that theme for a minute, of Donald Trump being a threat to democracy.
She's a heavy hitter.
I mean, who is it that, as Jesse said, weaponized the DOJ, the CIA, the FBI? You know, they've impeached him, they've indicted him, but they're the ones who were taking him off the ballot, okay? It's the Democrats who made up that political dossier that they took to a corrupt FISA court by a corrupt attorney general.
Boy, she's digging into him with all these facts. Because remember, Trump's a danger to democracy. Now, she is dropping heavy clubber laying blows on Joe and that fake narrative. You want to know about democracy. Let's talk about, I heard you've been out here in the streets talking crazy, Joe. Talking about Trump is a threat to democracy, man. You ain't gonna be talking about my boy like that. See, you want to talk about democracy? What I do? What did I do? What I do? Lying on everybody and lying to everybody.
General and United States attorney to try to spy on him. They were spying on a candidate for president of the United States. This is done in third world countries. And by the way, I will segue very smoothly into the fact that Joe Biden.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. The judge is the heaviest hitter out of all three of them. Yeah. So now I'm sure Joe will probably try to swing back as she slips it and comes back with this.
Has made us a third world country. Never in the history of this country have I seen people, especially in New York City, living the way they're living now, where the illegals are coming here. We're greeting them on buses. We're flying them in. They give us this false, I'm being persecuted. Give me asylum.
Get him, Janine. I'm sure Joe's like, where's Jill? Yeah. Black Gay Drop, help me. Yeah. Help me, baby Jesus. Help me, Tom Cruise. Yeah, use your witchcraft to keep these people from beating me up. So the judge is dropping blows. It's to the point now where I might have to pull her off. Like, that's enough, Judge. We done roughed him up too much. We don't want to kill the dude, do we? I mean, look, almost already dead anyway. Come on now, that's enough. And you got to pull her off. She's still swinging. She's still swinging right now as I'm pulling her off. Like, come on, let's just go. We got to get out of here. And the judge is kicking and swinging. Nah, forget that mess. On the way out. Go ahead, drop a couple more on the way out.
We shake their hand, we give them a goodie bag. They come in, they take a goodie bag, and they steal everything they can from CVS. They beat up the employees at Target and at Macy's. Then they assault the police, resist arrest. There's a trail of destruction.
Man, I gotta step in, though. It ain't worth it. Come on, man. Come on. It ain't worth it, Judge. It ain't worth it. Get off me, Kev. Get off me, Kev. No, man. He done pushed us too far. She is like, man, I want more of it. I'm like, all right, hey, I'm trying to stop you. I'm trying to, yeah. See, I got to pretend like I'm trying to stop it, the beating right here. This is a bloodbath. It's a verbal one. And I got to pretend like, oh, come on, Judge, it ain't even worth it. It ain't worth it. Oh, she slipped past me. Oh, she got away. Oh, dang, did you saw me try to stop her, right?
Economic devastation. And by the way, I don't think this issue got enough attention. Do you know that murders are down in Venezuela the lowest they've been in 20 years.
Why, Judge?
So maybe Donald Trump isn't so wrong about people emptying out prisons, because our crimes are going up and theirs are going down. And everything about what Joe Biden has done is defying the American law, whether it is entry to this country, staying here. And obviously, we've got to not only make sure that they are bailed whenever they're arrested, but we've got to deport them.
Oh, she is with the kick game too. Now, Joe's already asleep after that. They all done came out and roughed him up, but Janine went off on him at the end. To the point where, everybody getting concerned that it went too far. Started off as, we're going to go ahead and show this dude don't be coming in our neighborhood talking reckless. Now, the judge just don't know how to, pump the brakes. It's always one. It's always one to go too far. And the judge was running nothing but kick games at the end where we all pulling her away. So that's what it really comes down to, y'all. People who are informed about what real threats to democracy looks like. When they start dropping out all of that, it's hard to defend it. But yet you'll turn on the fake news. Trump tried to overthrow our democracy on January 6th by telling those people to go over and let your voices peacefully be heard. Trump tried to overthrow our democracy by disagreeing with the elections and a fair and free election. He didn't like it. He didn't agree with it. So that's overthrowing the democracy. That's what it is. Trump tried to throw our democracy when he be telling people that he was cheated, and then they be thinking like, okay, that must mean that we should go and take over the Capitol and stuff, because Trump said that he was cheated, and that means to go and try to hang Mike Pence and stuff, even though he never said that to him. Yeah, that's what they do. They come out and they try to say that Trump's the real threat to democracy. Straight up lying. And all you got to do is watch all the videotapes of the quotes that they use to justify it in real context, and you will find that these people are lying. You want to find some lying? Go back and watch the clips. Trump said he's got to be a dictator, as we heard Joe say. Now, only on day one. Yeah, I'm only going to be a dictator on day one. Yeah, and I'm going to say drill, drill, drill. I'm going to shut down the border. Does that sound like a dictator? But look, he said it. Trump said it himself. He's going to be a dictator. Now, if you're willing to look us in the face and lie like that, everything else that comes out of your mouth needs a sock in it. And Janine and all them just put it in there. Stuff that sock down his whole throat. So God bless y'all. God bless America. I sure do like beating up on these Democrats verbally. All right, YouTube, if you're listening to me, I'm not talking about physically beating anyone or shoving a sock down Creepy's throat. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about verbally. So make sure you hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms. Please text MAGA to this number and let me think. Oh, I'm on True Social now and all of that stuff. So please find me over there. X. I'm starting to do a little more Xing. Facebook and the Twitters. Twitter is X. What is it? Instagrams. I'm trying to do a little more. I'm trying to broaden my reach. Please subscribe to my alternative channel. And don't forget, if you want to support the channel, check out Kevin's Corner Store. You can buy some merch. And if you want to just go ahead and donate to the channel, you can do that. There are links below the video to do that as well. And with that being said, y'all, tomorrow's Friday. So I'm going to go ahead and check out what's the word on the street for tomorrow when it comes down to the fake news and these raggedy Democrats, and see what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. But whatever we be talking about, we're going to be making sense out of nonsense if we can. So God bless y'all. We see y'all next time. I'm looking down at my dog who I don't recognize. That lady, I should sue her. I should take Gizmo back and tell her to put all his fur back on him. I want the fur put back on him. No, I don't care how you got to do it. Well, sir, I don't go get the fur thing on it. What do you mean you already threw it away? Well, any other dog fur you got back there you can put on it? So that's the fur of a brown dog. Well, put it on it. Because I can't have him looking like this. Yeah, God knows how long it's going to take Gizmo for your fur to go back. Daddy will still love you. It's like loving an ugly baby right now. That's what it is. I'm being tested, y'all. I'm being tested. And I got to look a little ugly baby in the face and be like, sure is cute, y'all. But now I know what Gizmo looks like, butt naked. I had no idea what he looked like under that fur. I'm like, so that's what a Shih Tzu looks like, bald. So anyway, don't worry, kids. It'll grow back. Anyway, we'll see y'all tomorrow. poor Gizmo. Look what they done. Look what they done to my boy. Look what they done to my boy. They done to my boy. I don't want to see the people. I don't want them to see me all sensitive. Let me get out and turn this off. They don't want to see me crying and stuff. God bless you.